two more visual enhancements in PowerPoint 2010 provided to us are embedding flash files and pictures. Flash is very similar to inserting a video, but we don't have the effects or style options, and we need to be careful that we match the version of PowerPoint with the version of Flash. In pictures, those are probably the most common visual enhancement used in PowerPoint presentations. Of course, a picture speaks 1,000 words. Now, Microsoft PowerPoint 2010 comes in two different flavors, 64-bit and 32-bit. You must match which version you have with the same 64 or 32-bit versions of Flash. If you end up having, let's say, the 62-bit version of PowerPoint and a 32-bit version of Flash, you won't be able to play Flash files inside your PowerPoint. So, to insert a Flash file, let's click on the Insert tab, and in its own group called Flash, there is an Embed Flash. Here's the most important part about this. Your Flash file must be on the same system as your PowerPoint to even embed the file. I had a lot of problems when I was working on my SkyDrive on a PowerPoint presentation, and I wanted to insert a Flash which was on my computer, and it just wouldn't let me. So I had to move the PowerPoint to my computer where the Flash was and then insert it there. So when you first click Embed Flash, you get the Insert Flash pop-up dialog box, and you can choose a different kind of skin. This option is an all-over, no fill, no caption, and it has a play button and a volume button. There are other options. You can just say play. You only get a play button. You can get a play and a mute button. Seek and stop. So you have some options to give to your user. I'm going to go ahead and choose everything so they can start, stop, forward, advance, mute, change sound. I'm going to give it all to them. So first I go and browse for my file, and I know that it's called Lightning. Okay. Now it doesn't look like much, but as soon as I roll over the Flash with my mouse, something cool happens. Okay, lightning happens. So right now I'm going to try and set the poster image from the current frame. Sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. And I'm going to click OK. So right now my Flash window is a little bit small, so I'm going to drag the corners to resize it to a decent size, a little bit larger than what it was. Okay, and you notice, unlike the video, we don't have any options of adding a frame or some glow or shadows or pretty much any effects. It's just the flat Flash file. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on Slideshow View and see what this Flash file does. Again, it doesn't look like much until I roll my mouse over it, and then lightning strikes. Last but not least, we're going to insert a picture. So again, on the Insert tab, we're going to click on Picture, and we're going to select a picture. And I think I'll select this pretty pink flower, or maybe even this blue flower. Okay, and I think it's a little small, so I'm going to resize it. I'm going to move it just by clicking on it and dragging it, grabbing the corner handle and resizing. That's large enough, I think. The picture is a pretty flower, but we can make it more exciting by applying a picture style or an artistic effect, or even recoloring it to match our presentation theme. Let's try some of these options. So on the Picture tab in Format, under Adjust, I'm going to click on Artistic Effects. Now we have about 23 of these to choose from, and they're all different types. There's a pencil drawing, a pencil sketch. There's another pencil sketch. There's a painting. It's one that looks pixelated. There's even one that's supposed to look like stained glass. One that has glowing edges. And I think the funny one that they gave us to this is, it's called plastic wrap, and it's the funniest little thing because it makes it look like it's been shrink wrapped in plastic wrap like a security device. I think it's kind of fun. So as I'm looking at all the different choices, there's not really one that I like for this picture too much. So maybe it's not that I'll apply an artistic effect, maybe I'll change its color. I can change the color saturation, the tone, or I can recolor it all together. And if I roll over more variations, it gives me all of my theme colors. Now one more thing before I set a theme color. I can set a transparent color, which means, let's say I had a complete black background. I could click on that black, set it transparent, and I'd only have the blue flower left. Since there are multiple colors of green, this set transparent color isn't going to pick up all the green. It will only pick up maybe the light green or the dark green, but it will leave the rest of the greens there. So this isn't really an option, particularly for this flower. But I think I'm going to go ahead and choose one of my theme colors, and maybe this gold set. Again, I'm just going to maybe resize it a little bit larger. That looks pretty good. And I think I'm going to do a style effect. There's some really nice ones. Oh, I like that one with the reflection. Okay. And I like this, but I'd like the corners to be a little bit more rounded, not so sharp. So I think I'm going to click on this yellow diamond and pull, and that ends up reshaping my corners, and I can just manipulate it to what I like, and this seems to be a very soft edge, and I like that. I think I'm going to add one more picture. So again, repeat the steps, insert, picture, and I think I'll choose this flower 6. And this time I'm going to kind of make it a little bit larger, and I want to tilt it. So I'm going to take the green handle and I'm just going to tilt it a little bit. I'm going to maybe place it down here in this corner. Now that's okay, but I really just want the flower. I don't want all the surrounding area. We have an option for that, to remove the background. So I'm going to click on Remove Background. And PowerPoint does a pretty good job trying to figure out what it is you want to remove and what it is you want to keep. Now it chopped off a little bit of the petals, so I'm just going to resize the box that's around the picture, around the flower, so PowerPoint knows what to keep and what to get rid of. And that actually looks really good. It got in between all these little parts and pieces. But let's say I also want to remove the center for whatever reason. All I need to do is say Mark Area to Remove. So I click on that, drag across the area I want to remove, and PowerPoint does a pretty good job figuring out what it is I want to remove. So if I want to keep these changes, I just say Keep Changes. And now you can see the middle of my flower is gone. But I actually do want the middle of the flower gone, so I'm going to click Undo. And I'm going to leave it the middle there and click on Keep Changes, because it looks like PowerPoint did a good job removing the background. And there's my flower. Let's summarize what we learned. PowerPoint will support QuickTime, which is .mov and MP4, and Adobe Flash .swf files when you have installed the QuickTime and Flash players, but there are some limitations with using Flash. We can't use those special effects, those object effects. To use the Flash, we need to match the PowerPoint version, either 32 or 64, with the same 32 or 64-bit Flash. Pictures can be modified by adding artistic effects, changing sizes, color, tone, contrast, and even brightness. And even the backgrounds of the pictures can be removed. This has been Lynn Mann, and I hope you've enjoyed this video of PowerPoint 2010 Visual Enhancements.